I have a lot of people asking me about the conversations with the psychic program. They're not certain what we're doing. Well, it's a brand new type of approach. We are offering a very casual living room type atmosphere, not a Las Vegas show type feel around this presentation. It's partially inspired by Eric Hannesen of Germany. It's the similar approach that he took. There have been a few other narrative type psychic entertainers who, through the process of conversation, share insights about their own experiences, but more importantly, we teach people about the devices and the challenges faced by psychic workers. This includes clarifying things like the tarot or using your intuition, even spooks and ghosts and things that go bump in the night. We would like to address. There's a lot of people that want to jump to conclusions the minute a door moves, thinking that it's a ghost, when in truth it's probably just a draft. I come from a very old-fashioned background. It's got its roots in Appalachia. We believe in some common sense and not just superstition. A lot of superstition is looked upon very tongue-in-cheek. And at the same time, some of that old folksy stuff just works. I have seen warts removed by squeezing it with 2 copper pennies. It's an old wives' tale, but it actually works. I've watched my father's stepdad do dowsing work, and he actually taught me when I was 8, 9 years old. He actually cut the tree branch and put it in my hands, and within minutes I was able to follow the water pipes underground and show the path of the water movement on the property. This is a man who found sweetwater wells as well as coal mine veins that are still in operation in parts of Bluefield, West Virginia, and northwestern Virginia itself. I've lived an amazing life filled with magic and wonder. And when I say magic, I mean both kinds. I've seen miracles of all sorts, and I've also worked with the grand illusions. People that know me from the magician's world know that I worked for Creative Illusions in Las Vegas, designing magic. Several pieces that we developed were in the Siegfried and Roy show. We've done things with David Copperfield and numerous other top acts of the 1990s, 1980s to present. I still do consulting on the side, but mostly I'm a writer. I have written numerous books on the subjects of psychic entertainment, and that's part of what's behind the program. And then I have my friends like Elon New, the man who knows, if you remember him from television. We also have from the UK Peter Turner, who has been a godsend in my life on so many levels. He has given me tools to expand my approach to mentalism to where it looks more realistic, more of a phenomena versus, well, I hate to say it, a trick, like so many performers nowadays tend to pass it off as a being. I'm still in love with the mystery, the mysticism, and I think that's what the audience is wanting these days. They've seen Flash and Dazzle. They've seen the grand monstrosities that are done in Las Vegas. They've watched David Blaine float dollar bills and do card tricks. But what they're wanting is something to hold on to, especially during these troubled times. So that's part of what we're working on. The 5 different shows that we do. The first one opens March 31st in Florence, Massachusetts. Is called Tarot. It is a tarot-themed program. Runs for a full hour. It includes a look at the cards beyond what you're used to or assume are done with the cards. We do open the show with a classic tarot reading with a member of the audience. But then I take it beyond that, showing you the more prophetic side of the cards, as well as their connections with the empath that works with them. People get misconstrued when it comes to the tarot cards, because just because you own a deck of tarot cards doesn't mean you're a psychic. Tarot cards are one of the training tools that are used for helping people expand their awareness. It also helps them to ground themselves to the point where they can connect with other people on a higher level. And that's when intuition starts coming into play. It takes a while, and not everybody gets it. Some of us just want to think too much instead of feel. And intuition comes from down here, not up here. And it's an amazing thing. It really is. It's fun once you start understanding it. And then it can also get frightening. I have had those seasons where I've worked 5 or 6 days a week, 10 hours a day doing readings. And just the schedule alone is brutal. But the way it drains the physical body and the mind is hard to describe. I know many psychics that have to take sabbaticals almost annually outside of cities and in very remote areas, just so they can clear themselves and get grounded, get some personal healing work in order to move forward in their life. So these are some of the things that we touch on. I offer a very pragmatic perspective when it comes to the paranormal. I believe that the things that we classify as magic and mysticism from the past, what wizards and witches and all these people did in ancient times, I believe that was the science of their era. And even the term referred to around witches means way of the wise, and wisdom was reflective of knowledge. If we don't learn, if we don't use our brain, then we're just as big fools as anybody else out there. And just because you call yourself a witch doesn't mean you're a witch. And just because you call yourself psychic doesn't mean you're psychic. I have strong empathy, but I don't consider myself to be a psychic the way most people think of that idea. I am an entertainer that's blessed with certain abilities that have allowed me to help thousands of people over the years. And also it has possessed me with obligations. Back in 2001, in August of 2001, it was National Psychic Week, and I was on Buzz AM radio, and the DJ asked me what I foresaw in the future, and I explained that many shaman, psychics, and so forth were getting the impression of something devastating showing up within the next 4 to 6 weeks. And we kept on seeing it as a big mountain that was rumbling and burning and smoke filling the sky. And it was such a catastrophe, it would affect the world for decades. Well, on September 11th, that same year, almost 4 weeks to the day, we found out what those mountains were that were blown up, and the fire in the sky, and how it has devastated especially the United States. It has crippled our nation on so many levels, divided us, united us, but created a sense of mayhem that hopefully will be resolved in the near future. Am I proud that I saw that and I projected it? Well, it's a part of what is in me. It was no magic trick. There was nothing else to it. It's just that's what was being picked up at the time. As a magician, I can predict headlines day in and day out, but I've always got a little box or something that lets me do that. But anyway, I want to encourage you to take a look at our Kickstarter. You will see the links at the end of this loop to Kickstarter, to GoFundMe, and other fundraising links that we're working with. We have 2 weeks to come up with a $1,200 to $2,000 budget in order to cover our advertising and some preliminary production costs. It's not a lot. It will get us through the first 6 weeks of the campaign, and by that point in time we should have a strong enough following to where cash flow won't be an issue, and we can manage things from there on. The program is designed to last for a full year. The themes of the show, like I said, tarot is the first one, intuition is the second show. They are rotated. So in 6-week intervals, we change the theme and format of the show. So we're going from tarot to intuition to numerology, and that's a fun show, especially if you're a math whiz. I think you'll have fun with that, but it's open to everybody. Then we have a short break before we start on the Halloween show, which is late September through October. If those dates interest you, they are themed about ghosts and the paranormal, and I highly recommend you confirm engagements well ahead of time. Just email me at craigthepsychic@gmail.com for more information. The different benefits that we're offering, especially through Kickstarter, range from a $25 to a $1,000 investment. The spiffs that you're getting back include everything from books to free tickets to t-shirts to actual shows, personal readings, and in-depth reports. When I do a report for somebody, whether it's the short report or the more in-depth one, your numbers, your life, they are professionally bound. The less expensive version with the 1-year projection is a paperback. The 5-year projection version, which is a lot more detailed, it is basically your complete natal chart done with numbers. They start at around $350 a piece because it's a one-time book printing. We don't do it in mass, and because of that, it's very expensive to get them printed, even with printing on demand. And on top of that, the 5-year projection reading takes me roughly 40 hours to put together. So, and when you don't have time. So, I hope I've answered your questions. If not, go to Kickstarter, type me up a question, and I will answer it as best I can. I appreciate your time. Please feel free to share this video and the links. Thank you very much, and blessed be.